So we are back here on the Choose954 podcast, episode 28 from the beautiful Young at Art Museum here in Davie, Florida. Here with museum curator Zack Spechler and local participating artist Julian Pardo. In front of his fantastic piece he's going to tell you about in a little bit here. If you didn't know about Choose954, we started a social movement to cultivate culture and community here in Broward County, where I'm from, in an effort to keep people in the know with all the great things that are going on within the arts and culture, in an effort to make this a better place to live, not just a better place to vacation. The point of the podcast is to connect you with incredible people like them that are doing amazing things in the community. So without much further ado, Julian, why don't you start off, tell me a little bit about yourself at a high level.
I'm a first generation immigrant from Colombia. I came in 2001 due to terrorism, like the violence in my country. And here I am. I study art in FIU, in Broward College, and I'm an artist from Broward.
Awesome. And what is your medium?
My medium, I use from sculptures, installation, video, photography,
Clocks.
Clocks, for example.
Yes.
I was showing a clock in one of the fairs with you guys.
Yeah.
So
we'll get to that in a little bit. And Zach, for them that don't know you, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
A curator of Young at Art Museum. It's my passion to work at the museum. What's great about Young at Art is that we are a contemporary art museum. We're exclusively contemporary art, but predominantly for families and children. So you're able to have a really fun experience no matter what age you are, because we have to make sure it's fun if kids are going to have fun. So adults even can have more fun.
And he didn't say this, I'm going to say this, but it's widely regarded as one of the best children's museums, young people museums around, or anywhere really.
Thank you.
So kudos to you guys and everybody that's contributed. I guess with that being said, how did you get into art initially?
I've been involved in art since I was born, prior to being born, being the son of an artist.
Yeah.
My mom was a ceramicist growing up, so Young at Art for me started in her studio in our house. And it was like this little can full of toys, full of tools that the kids would be able to use when we made ceramics. So she'd be making her ceramics, and Young at Art was like this can.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah,
and the can is grown into a
55,000 square foot, gold LEED green certified, amazing place to come up with.
bigger soup can.
Exactly.
Awesome. We'll get into a little bit more, a little bit about the museum. And how did you get into art initially?
It's been since I was a kid. My parents always put me in art classes, and always been involved into that. And also music was the first thing I learned. I learned how to play violin when I was 7 or something. So I just fell in love with this for art.
Yeah, how about that? All right. And Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit more of a high-level overview as to where we are, what is all going on here at Young at Art Museum?
Where we are right in this position right
No,
now?
no, broader.
Okay, so we're in Davie, Florida, which, as you know, is the greater Fort Lauderdale area.
True.
But further west, so we're even further out of the city area.
Suburbs.
We're in the suburbs. A lot of people in Davie are, it's a nice mix of culture where people are still riding horses in some places, but yet still right outside of Fort Lauderdale and 25 minutes from South Beach. So we're in a really interesting place where art can have its own specific meaning, but also has an audience through Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
True.
In Young at Art, we're right outside of the Night Gallery. So the Night Gallery was originally partly sponsored by the Knight Foundation. So what it is a space to have changing artists come in. So it's a great, a space for artists to come in and do contemporary work. It's really ambitious. It's like a project space in a way, but it can go from anything to a traveling exhibit that's been in other museums. But mostly what we're interested in is brand new works, site-specific works, interactive works. So yeah.
And some of my favorite, most noteworthy exhibits, Milagros exhibit, Locascio. What are some of the exhibits you're a little bit more proud of, that noteworthy exhibits have come through here?
Oh man, if I just go down the line of all the exhibits, it's sometimes it's depending on the day and what my favorite exhibit is. Federico Uribe is an amazing artist that totally immersed the space. I mean, if you broke down all the sculptures that were in it, it must have been over 1,000 sculptures in the space. It was beautiful. It was called Made Paradise, because he literally made this like perfect environment of animals made of all different found materials, and a lot of them were like really ambitious, large-scale kinetic sculptures. So that was cool. Milagros, obviously, painting the full space from the floors all the way across, to me was like something that I've always wanted to do. A project that was even like as immersive as some of my favorite projects, like Usama's Obliteration Room, where you go in and it's just covered from head to floor. And I feel like we took a larger space and did it. So that was exciting to see something that I feel like was an accomplishment of a nature that I just can't find when I go searching for it. Our upcoming Lo Castro's exhibition that I mentioned was amazing. It was called Palindrome Park. So the idea was to create like a loose symmetry of a sculpture park inside of our contemporary gallery, which is our another changing space gallery. And it was just this beautiful, I think, addition to his work, because it probably is his largest scale installation, and I think has pushed him into a direction where he was already going. And yes, but it was cool to be a part of his changing work as well.
And the space obviously lends itself very well to all of these exhibits. I'm fortunate enough to have come on the Business for Agricultural tour while Milagros was installing a painting, and I thought that was super cool. There's very few places that you could do something of that scale and magnitude. So kudos to you guys and the team and the space and everybody that's helped support, and we'll get into the support for the museum in a little bit. Julian, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're standing in front of right here?
This is a piece that incentive the kids to plant their own food, pretty much. So it's a tree using like a gumball machines as a medium to like get the seeds. And you put a quarter, and that quarter goes to like a community garden that it's a collaboration between like a younger art museum and myself. And it's a support between like the museum and me just to build this garden. Also, like without the support of this museum, I couldn't have done this piece. I just believe in my idea. This is the fourth generation of this piece. First one I showed it in Deer State Park like a few years ago, and like the idea began in like the protest that was happening in Colombia like in 2016 or so about like Monsanto getting their seeds certified to buy the farmers there. So I couldn't do anything like from here to like make an impact in Colombia. So what I did is just like, why not like spread the seeds as an art piece, and like everyone can like plant their own food, their organic food, without having like a certification from DuPont and Monsanto. So that's the idea came from, and like I did like the first one in Deer State Park, and I showed some other places. And this is the last piece that it was shown in Art Miami, the last Art Basel, with the Hungarian Museum. And land here just to keep spreading seeds.
Sure. How big is this?
It's around, like 15 feet?
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah, because it went over the walls.
So the idea with the tree gumball machine is also like when you grab like an apple from a tree, you can't grab all of them. So that's why I make that like suggestion of like, can you reach that, or can you reach this one here? Like, it just depends like how available is the food and like how you can like grab it.
Interesting. And how has it been received?
Like the outcome of it?
Yeah, how is it, yeah.
It's all, like kids always want to buy it. Like, oh, you got water mom and everything, and like then they realize and see, and like inside of them it says like plant me, and my name is papaya, my name is basil, or my name is milkweed, or all those things that they're really easy to plant in Florida. So if this piece will travel somewhere else in the world, it will go to the seeds that will grow in that area.
Beautiful. How long did it take you to make this?
It was like a couple weeks, so like 3 weeks. But the idea, it's been like growing from like 2016, as I said. So it's just been 4-5 years.
Phenomenal. So, what are your thoughts on the Young at Art Museum as an artist and the impact it has with the missions that it serves for the kids?
The impact is the way they support like local artists like myself, and like I think it's a really important venue for the kids to like be encountered by us and like be able to like give them all these seeds and like have them like realize I have to touch the earth to like plant their seeds and see all the process is just amazing.
Yeah.
So without the support of them, like I could have done this piece, for example.
Yeah, phenomenal. And what would you say, from your perspective, is the impact that the museum serves for the community and the kids and everybody that comes through here?
There are so many impacts inside our museum that are part of our museum or Young at Art Museum that's even outside of our community. So like I could talk about just one of those forever. So for example, we go into the community and work at like PACE, Center for Girls, and we work with them. It's a opt-in actually school for people that are at risk and they think they're not going to graduate. We go there and we teach their art programs. We do that at 2 other elementary schools as well. So the museum itself is an amazing impact, but our community initiatives that people don't even know that that's what this space also helps fund are amazing.
In addition to being a library.
In addition to having a library, in addition to having a museum, in addition to anything on this 55,000 square foot building, we have community in there. So when you talk about the community, that's what I think about. But as far as like how this building impacts, I think it's a great, really like what Julian said is, to me, right from the curator's perspective, I would say is right on point. It's an introduction to contemporary art in a fun way, but I think what really is nice about it is there really aren't many other spaces really in South Florida that allow so much, leverage for the artist to kind of do what their vision is in a fun way. You know, I mean, there are other great institutions, of course, but we would want a lot more of them.
Sure.
And there aren't any other children's museums that are exclusively contemporary art. We're the largest, from what I know, we're the largest in the world that's exclusively contemporary art. Children's.
Beautiful, it's phenomenal, and serves so many other purposes that you can find out more about on the website, on your social medias, and serves a lot of purposes in terms of hosting a lot of events. Why don't you tell us some of the things that are coming up next here at the museum?
Awesome. So yeah, we have some really great events. So we have an exhibition coming up April 20th. It is Jen Clay's opening exhibition. It's called Welcome to You and Me. As you know, Jen Clay is an awesome performance artist, and I'm going to make a really immersive space. And that space is going to be activated for our 30th anniversary party, which is coming up on April. Okay.
27th.
It's on April 27th.
Yes, that's right.
So April 27th, Jen Clay will be performing live, along with, we're going to be featuring this piece and some other pieces for the night, because we're going to be giving them a preview of our arcade exhibition, which is what this piece is going to ultimately land in and be a big part of. It's a reimagined arcade through the eyes of several contemporary artists. So so this arcade will be reimagining like this beer-cade, the barcade idea, right? So we're going to have a big barcade for the night of the 27th as well. Artworks that are going to be celebrating really 30 years of artists at the museum, and just a night of drinks, music, and entertainment. It's going to be great.
And fundraising and supporting the museum.
And supporting the museum. So you're going to be actually doing something amazing for the community, but not even realize it because you're having such a good time.
Yeah.
But it's a great time to come in on things and make contributions through really fun ways. So it's a painless way to.
And if you've never been to the museum before, it's a great opportunity to come out here. I'm glad to serve on the host committee and support as a media partner with Choose954, and it's going to be a little bit more engaging with the drinks and the food than just coming to the museum regularly. But you can still come to the museum anytime. We strongly encourage you, if you have family coming in town, you've never brought your kids here before, you want to bring your friends' kids, whatever the case may be, definitely recommend that you make a date to come check it out. What do you have coming up next on the radar?
On the radar, I just did a workshop on robotics
Okay.
It was in Mexico, in Puebla. I'm working on a piece that like this robot arm making like a ceramic piece. Since Puebla, it's one of the cities that makes this type of ceramics called Talavera.
Okay.
So this Talavera, I did all the investigation while I was there in the workshop. So they teach me how to like paint that Talavera and how they've been done, pretty much. So what I did is just program the robot to start doing this Talavera and talking about this juxtaposition between the artisan and like a robot, how precise or how like perfect can be an artisan against a robot. So that's what I was coming in.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Where is that gonna take place?
I'm writing some grants for that since like having a robot is like very expensive, but I had the luxury to have it, and we'll see. Maybe New York, LA.
Great, phenomenal. Wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you.
And Julian was one of the participating artists in Art for Lauderdale this year,
As well, yeah.
which we're very proud to have you, and hopefully we'll have you again in the future. The clock piece, as we discussed earlier, was a big hit for me and a lot of people. You can find that on our social medias with the picture galleries. Where can they find you on social medias?
At Instagram and Julian Pardo artist, and you just find me there, or julianpardoartist.com is my webpage. So it's easy
We
to
can
find.
link it in the comments after. And where can they find yourself, the museum, on social medias?
We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook. That's pretty much the two handles that we have.
It's at YAA.
It's yeah, if you put Young at Art Museum in Instagram,
Yeah.
it'll pop right up. And then on Facebook as well.
Yeah, if you
Don't
call
look for me, look for the museum.
Yeah. His Instagram's boring.
Yeah.
There's so much color here. There's so
Yeah.
much stuff, so much robotics and arcade games, and a lot of great events coming up. So we strongly recommend and encourage you to check that out. A couple other things to check out. This weekend, we actually produced an event through our group, the United Group, called the Female Brew Fest. It's the first female craft beer festival to create a platform to highlight and showcase female brewers, female chefs, female bands, female artists. We're in our third year. This year it's going to take place at Gulfstream Park in Hollandale. It's going to take place from 2 to 6 p.m., March the 23rd. You can find out more at femalebrewfestspelledout.com on social medias as well. We are, after that, very excited to be leading our first tour, guided, curated tour of the monthly Fort Lauderdale Art Walk in Mass District and Fat Village. We're going to start at 6 o'clock. The monthly Fort Lauderdale Art Walk takes place the last Saturday night of the month, which this month is going to be March 30th. There's a trolley stop, a free trolley service there in Mass District. You can't miss the big flag. You can find out more on Choose954. Just type in monthly Fort Lauderdale Art Walk. We're going to take people around and introduce them to the artists, have the artists give examples and explanations of their works, and it's going to be a great way to discover what, in my opinion, is one of our greatest recurring monthly events of the month with the Fort Lauderdale Art Walk. We are, with our 1,000 Mermaids Artificial Reef Project, it's going to be a public art, eco art project, going to be participating in an Earth Day beach cleanup with Celebration of the Seas and the mayor and some city commissioners. That's going to be on April 22nd at Marriott Harbor Beach. If you don't participate in beach cleanups, this would be a good day to do so. Obviously, we could use it and use all the help that we can get. You can find out more at 1000mermaids.com. And we are still hosting our Choose954 Local Artist Discovery Series, live art pop-up every Wednesday at YOLO. We give artists a canvas, easel, table. We don't charge them. We don't take a cut of the work. We market it. We make a flyer. We do social for them. Give them a food tab, and it's in an effort to connect local artists with the downtown YOLO Las Olas crowd in an effort to hopefully get them collected, discovered, supported, followed, all those great things. We've been doing it for the last 108 consecutive weeks, and we're excited to continue doing it for another 108 consecutive weeks to continue supporting our local artists. And if you're fortunate enough to get tickets, we have a very special So Far Sounds Songs from a Room experience coming up this Thursday in Pompano. Songs from a Room experience, it's either invite only or you have to request access. They don't publish the location, so it's kind of like a secret. You kind of got to be in the know. To find out more, you can go on to sofarsounds.com, SOFARSOUNDS. This might be a good venue for So Far Sounds, actually. You can consider that. Any other questions, you can feel free to reach out to me, Evan Snow, the co-founder of Choose954. Feel free to follow us, Facebook, Instagram, follow these guys. They're doing some amazing things. We hope to see you at the 30th anniversary here on the 27th.
On April 27th.
And any other time you want to come by, the museum's open. Take a kid, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Cheers.